Hey, good morning, folks. This is Mikey's in here in beautiful St. Augustine, Florida this morning. What a beautiful day it is. And I'm here with my partner, Phil Castillo, and what we're gonna do, I've talked about this, but I'm gonna do it. I'm finishing up this really nice 10-foot raised acron net. What a pretty color, that's chartreuse. And what I'm doing is finishing up putting the sinkers on. I've touched on this, but haven't really gone into a lot of detail. What I'm fixing to do is really show you how I do it. You know, it'll be helpful to you, I'm sure, because putting on the lead line is probably one of the most, well, if not the most critical part of the net. It's so important that you get somewhere close to the right amount of lead line on this thing. If you get too much on it, it's not going to open good. It's going to have a tendency it'd be hard to throw. It's going to twirl at the end, and that excess lead line is going to lap over one another. Better to have a little bit too short than it is too much. Okay, with that said, let's get started. As you can see, this is the last 12 sinkers I got to put on this thing of 273. Now Phil's going to get a close-up. As you can see how this is the correct way to install a lead line. Usually I don't tell you, anything about do it the way you want to do it. I don't never tell you that my way is the best way, because there's a lot of other ways of doing things, but this is the best way. You can see how tight, see how that lead line, how pretty and tight that is. There's no slipping and sliding around. Those sinkers they match that's a 1/4 inch hole in that sinker. That's a 1/4 inch solid braid nylon foot line. And that's going on this thing. There's my double row at the end, and here we go. I want to show you how I do this. As you can see, I've got my lead line placed out. I see I'm going to put my foot there to hold that down. Then I'll lap this over my leg till I'm comfortable with that. See how I've got that? Okay, Phil, you got that.
Mm-hmm.
Now I'm going to start, and you can see what I've done. I've already, 12 minus, lacking the 273. I'll pick up that mesh. And now it's critical, the spacing, and I probably got that at about 3/4 of an inch. It depends on the size of mesh you have. So don't say, well, I got to do them 3/4 of an inch, because you don't. You want to do this based on, and I want to show you the diamond. Now, yeah, there you go. See that diamond across here? Remember I've told you about the diamond? If you keep those things as a diamond, you're doing good. That's what you want to do. You don't want it too close. You don't want that diamond to look like this. Can you see that, Phil? What I'm showing? How close that diamond is? You don't want that. You want that thing, you want it just like that, stretched out. Okay, now, I tied my first, and it's just simply actually it's a clove hitch. And now the spacing. This is the critical part here.
Hold it.
Can you see that spacing?
Yeah.
So I'm holding that with those two fingers. This is double half hitch. You do two. Notice I leave a space here. I do that purposely because when you go to put your braille lines on, you're going to have a place, to slide them real easy. That's going to tighten up as I go along. All right, I've got my spacing here. That's probably inch and an eighth. That's not going to, don't go by that. Now, and when I go to tie the second one, notice it's much shorter because it's going to split that sinker. So I've slid that sinker up into place. Here again, 1/2 hitch and a 2nd half hitch. I think you put 3 on yours, don't you? Did you tell me?
Sometimes, yeah.
Sometimes you put 3.
If I run a single line instead of double.
Yeah, okay. Now I'm going to pick up the next one. I'm going to breeze along here a little bit because I want to, the purpose of doing this is showing you that when we get to the end, how you splice that thing. I've never even really talked about that. See that? So just let that slide under your foot. When it gets tight, you just slide it. Notice I keep that spacing. I mean, it'll come natural to you as you get to doing this stuff. And reach down, slide that sinker into place. Maintaining that thing to now. This is, you can't continue this because what'll happen to you is it'll pull this thing out of line on you. See when you get into the end, see what it's doing? Maybe I can do one more. See, it's going to start pulling. Then I'm going to show you what we're going to do to remedy that. Notice I pull that good and tight. Now see how that's pulling tight on me? See what it's doing? See, you don't want that. That's already started really bad. Okay. Now, all right, I'm going to put this sinker on. I see Teddy the mullet cat. He's restless as something here. All right, I'm going to reach down here and catch the end of this lead line, okay? Now, I've got to slide my chair up a little bit, just a little bit, and I'm going to put this across my leg. Now, see what I'm doing? It takes a little bit to get this adjusted because you want to keep that good and tight. Now, see what I've done? I've eliminated that bind. And I can just slide those sinkers right into place. I just come up here like this, catch that mesh, and if you get too close, just back up. Whatever you have to do to get comfortable. I might just a little teeny bit, but the lead line, it'll lock around this area here of the foot line, so that. And now I'm going to continue this. Just continue what I was doing. Another way you could do this, if you got somebody that can hold this for you, if they can stand there beside you and hold that lead line, and where you can, but I'm usually always by myself, so I've just learned this is the way to do it. This is the way I was taught. I questioned another net maker one time, some years ago, why he did stuff. I thought he was being a little excessive on his widenings, and I questioned him. And he said, well, that's the way I was taught. That makes sense, doesn't it? That's the way you're taught, that's the way you do it. I keep sliding that a little bit. Notice I got a bag, that's okay. I'm going to reach down. It's a little bit time consuming, but I wanted to show you this because in a little bit we're going to show you how to splice it. What you're going to need for your splicing is two things. That happens now and then. You just reach down and catch it, put it back. A really good sharp knife and your fingernail polish. I think I showed you what kind I use on that. It's a nail hardener, what it is. Yeah, that sucker gets hard, doesn't it, Phil?
Oh, yeah.
You have to kind of adjust yourself with this a little bit. So it's a little bit, this last few is a little bit pain in the backside sometimes to get, because you get some slackness here that you really don't want, because you don't want to get it out of any shape at no point. We're getting closer. Hope you're all having a wonderful spring wherever you are. I enjoy hearing. I've told you I've met some interesting people. I've got a guy. I got a new net maker in Kenya. He called me from Kenya. You know where Kenya's at? It's in Africa, for goodness sake. He's having an issue, some issues, and I've got him going on that. But he's a worrywart because he's worried about sinkers. He can't find with lots of luck. Ain't nobody can find a sinker mole. You can forget that. But anyhow, I finally told him because it was really bugging him. I said, don't worry about it. I'll get you sinkers. You know. Doggone it, why is this thing kicking my butt this morning, Phil?
It's heavy.
Yeah, it is. We ain't got many more now. We ain't got many more, just a few. And we'll be done with this thing. I got a buddy that's getting this net. He's in Destin, Florida. Destin is right close to Pensacola. I envy those guys over there. I tell you what, those fish over there are so good eating compared to the East Coast because that beautiful clear water and white sand beach. It is so pretty. If you ever been to Pensacola, you live here. I know my buddy J.D. Powell, he watches these things. He lives, I think, somewhere close to there. And we've talked about the beautiful, beautiful mullet are a delicacy over there. The restaurants have them on the menu. You know, like you have here, you have snapper and redfish. I don't like redfish. I just don't care to eat redfish at all. But I ain't crazy about snapper. I've certainly caught my share of them. I just don't. I don't really care for them that much. They're okay. Let's see. Let me get these last few sinkers. So it's kicking my butt, Phil.
The last ones always do.
Look at what I did. I missed a step. And I was saying, shucks. All right. People are rushing spring here. They've got a cam. Two of them here. One of Valana Beach. That's our favorite beach where Phil and I go. In Valana, and it's on the north side of the inlet. And then you got St. Augustine Beach on the south side. Anyway, I watch that every day. I look at that cam. That beach is full. That beach is full of people, and they're in the water. Water temperature here, by the way, is it's getting close to 70 degrees. It's not 70 degrees yet. I don't. I don't like cold water. That water's got to be 85, 90 for me to get in it. Although when I was chasing mullet, it didn't make no difference. I'd get in it in January, you know, because you always kept a little something in the seat of your car to you could get warmed up, you know, a little toddy for the body. I had an old buddy. My old buddy used to call it toddy for the body. He did. He's a little bit excessive on his toddy for the bodies, but anyway. There we're just about. What have we got? Two more sinkers to put on?
About.
That's what it looks like. Then we're gonna get down to the nitty gritty of this thing. Okay. Come on.
It should be the last one, no? Is that the last one?
Just about. Yeah, well, this is the last sinker going. This is number 273. Anyway, that's what it is, and I'm going to show you right now after I tie this what we're going to do, how we're going to lap this. And anyway, notice that I'm keeping this thing in this hand, these two fingers. I'm holding that thing because it gets to a point where you can't keep it under your knee. Okay, now I'm going to do 3 on the last one. I did 3 on the first one, half hitches. I'm going to do 3 on the last one. Okay, now what we've done, okay, Phil, can you get you see what I'm fixing to do?
All right, just hold it steady if you want a shot.
All right, that's all right. Okay, see, I want to maintain my space. Now, what I'm going to do, see, I'm going to lap this over. I'm going to keep this out of my way. This is the other end. What you're going to do, we're going to half hitch this side with the needle. We're going to half hitch this thing. And you want to pull that thing up me good and tight.
You're binding 2 of them together right now, right?
Yeah, what we're doing now is we're going to put these things together. That's when you're going to need that real sharp knife I was telling you about to cut this line off. And when you cut this line off, the rope, I'm going to do this halfway. Then I'm going to come over here and catch the other side and come halfway. I'm going to meet in the middle and tie a good square, one good square knot. And before I cut it, anything, I'm going to coat it. And this is, I use Miracle Nail. It's a nail hardener. It's clear. It will not turn. It won't turn colors. Some clear fingernail polish you buy, it'll turn pink over time. And it looks pukey to me. I learned that the hard way. So I finally found, by accident, I found Miracle Nail that I didn't know anybody told me, but I figured finally. Now, okay, I'm gonna see. Phil, can you show
Yeah,
me?
hold it steady. I don't go come in tight. That's splicing 2 together.
I splicing 2 together. I'm gonna do a few more. Then I'm gonna start from the other side. It's a little more pain in the butt. It's good on this side because you got the needle. Now I could put a needle. I've got plenty of needles. I could put a needle on that other short piece. I usually don't wear. I just struggle with it. A lot of chatter. Okay. Now I'm gonna just come over here and do the same thing as I did on the other side. Pull it nice and tight. Start my half hitches. Like it, let's see that thing come loose on me. You need to tie this. These 2 ends, because it'll drive you a batty if you don't. There ain't nothing going right for me. I gotta slow down. I'm in too damn big a hurry. Okay, back to the board.
Now you're binding the other end, right?
Binding the other way. You want to pull these really, really tight. That half hitch will hold until you take pressure off of it, then it'll loosen right up. So we're going to remedy that. Once we get to the middle and tie that thing off, then it won't go anywhere, especially when I put that coating on it. I put that coating of that miracle nail on there, I guarantee you, that stuff gets hard. And it doesn't hurt anything. It doesn't make anything, you gotta watch your knots, and keep them. What I do, because it gets hard, the end of that line, where you cut it, if it take a fingernail file and file it off. You know, I'm talking about after everything's said and done, and you're ready to. The next thing this nest's going to get tomorrow is I got to take it out there, spread it out. I've got my harness made, my hand line. I'm putting 30 foot of hand line on this net because this gentleman is going to be throwing this off of what did he tell me?
A boat?
Out of a boat, and he's got some friends that's got a dock that the mullet comes swimming by the dock, and he sat there and ambushes them. I've done that. I've got relatives that live on the river, and they got a big dock, and holy cow! I tell you what, I've been out there in November. Them roe mullet coming up the river to spawn. I get out on late in the afternoon, especially on a rising tide. You hear them coming. You hear them coming. Hear them coming up the river. You can hear them. And you know, every now and then one of them will jump. Roe mullet don't do a lot of jumping. They too, especially the full rows. They don't. That I notice. My little mullet cat's getting restless.
Now you're gonna run those hair fixtures up to the next one completely, right?
Yeah, I'm just about done. I know I'm taking some time, but you know, you people need to see this. This is important. Now, I ain't gonna tell you this is the best way to do this. This is the way I do this. This is the best way to do this. Install that lead line. How you do the splice?
Hold it right there. Hold it right there.
You can buy splices. You can buy splices, but they're bulky, and the issue is they'll rust. I mean, forget galvanized because they're going to rust. If you can find a good quality stainless steel splice, you can buy regular. What? Can't you, Phil?
I don't know.
I don't either.
That's kind of rare.
All right. With that said, I'm going to take him. I ain't much on tying knots, huh? Main thing is to J.D. Powell, don't you laugh at me.
So now you gotta knot the two ends.
Yeah, I'm fixing to just tie this, and this is going to be history. Notice I just do every damn thing by myself. Maintaining that damn knot tight.
And that's just a regular knot, right?
Just a square knot, yeah.
Square knot.
And you want to tie the tar out of that thing. That's it. That's it. Tell you what I'm going to do. I want to get this slack out of my way. I don't need this slack. I'm just take it. That's history. Get rid of that. Now, what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to do this, but I'm going to bore you. I've kept you long enough at this, but I think you've got a idea. I'm going to go ahead and put this because I don't want that knot to slip. So I'm going to go ahead and coat this one because I'll set this down and do this later. But anyway, see what I'm doing? Don't daub this. Coat it on there. I mean, bog it on there. Don't just daub it. You want to put it really thick. And because I want to let this dry, that knot dry where it can't come loose. That knot ain't never come loose. Not with this stuff. And I'm going to terminate this project. And what you would do, you would just, when this thing dries, run your knife blade right up. You can see this. Be careful. Don't get too close to your splice. But run that knife blade up there and clip it off. Same way on this side, and you'll be done. But anyway. Okay. I hope you got. I hope it helped you a little bit on this. Lisa showed you the way I do it, but that's a.
Go over the ends where you cut it.
What's that?
Show again where you cut it.
Show them where I cut it?
Yeah, that end, the lead line.
You want me to go get the knife and cut it?
No, I just show you.
I can go get the knife and cut it now.
No, I just show them where they cut it. The two ends.
I thought, the two ends, same way on this side. You just bring that knife blade, right up against it, and then cut it off. And you don't need to burn it, because it's not going anywhere. Cut it close. Cut it really close to where your half hitches start on both sides, and just cut it off, and you'd be good to go. The next step of this thing is, next step is put the horn in it. I got to put the horn. I got the horn ready. I showed you this. I think I showed you this last. I know I showed you
A while back.
Yeah, that's a cow horn. See, I didn't show you. I showed you about cutting the groove in it. I know on one of the videos. Got my groove is cut in it, nice and deep. Got my two holes that were hanging. This is a job hanging this thing. I can hang it up out there out my carport. I mean, 10 foot bigger than that I could hang out there, because it's only got about a foot and a half or so from the ground whenever I hang it. But anyway, so that's.
Show them the nail polish that you use, and I'll get a close up of it.
Okay, that is called Miracle Nail. I get this from the Dollar Tree, not Dollar Tree, not Dollar General.
Okay.
Sometimes it's hard to find. You can buy it right offline. In fact, I bought a case, 24 bottles of this stuff. I use a lot. I bought they didn't have it in the stores. I run out. I had to bum some from Phil. And finally I found it. And I bought a case from them. They got a website. I went online and bought me a case of it. But you don't do that. You never in hell gonna use no case of that. It takes. I'm only on my second bottle off of that case of 24, and I just opened that the other day. But I usually use a full bottle, especially on a net this big, because every knot, every splice in that net is coated with that. When I put that horn, it's going to be coated solid with that around it, where that line goes around that horn. That's going to be coated with that, where it can't come loose. Just be careful where I'm telling you, when you cut that line off, you're going to have a little sharp spot. Get your fingernail filed and smooth it off so it's not too rough on you. I use it on the hand line. Every place I do any kind of a splice gets that. I guess this pretty well covers everything. I'd like to hear from you. You can email me. This video will be uploaded on YouTube today, and anyhow.